students, today we will deal with our third part of combustion. It is the final session of this chapter. It is of class 8th. In this class, we will discuss about fuel, the good fuel, how to characterize a good fuel, and what are the different, you can say, side effects of using of this fuel. So what is the meaning of, we can say, what we call the fuel? Any material which is combustible and provide heat and light, and these fuel can be in any state, and we can use different fuel at different purposes. Like it can be at domestic purpose, it can be at industrial purpose. So that substance which produce heat and light energy, especially we are focusing on this these two type of energy, which is the basis of our domestic and industrial use. So there are many substances, and these fuel, okay, we will discuss about this. There are in different state you will find these fuels, for example in solid, then in liquid, also you will find in gases state. Solid, for example, your wood, okay, then your coal, etc. will come under your solid. Like your one more, wax is also, then here it is your petrol, then diesel, then your kerosene oil, okay, kerosene oil. And in case of gases we use LPG. What is the full form of this LPG? It is a liquefied petroleum gas. Liquefied petroleum gas. Then your CNG is also comes under this, that is compressed natural. There is other form, this we can use at the PNG, which is your pipeline natural gas. Pipe natural gas. Okay. Then these are the different fuel in different states. Now how we will characterize a fuel as good or bad? There are many criteria, and we'll see it now. So what we call the ideal fuel. So what this class is, or this session is just storytelling, because no more concepts are here, but it is very important at the point of view, or if your competition, you should be very informative about this combustion and the fuel, which is a demand of the nation, because fuel means the energy, and energy means the growth at industrial as well as every level. So we need it to know, and by knowing this we can explore it more and more. So let's see what is the special criteria about the ideal fuel. So first, it is the easily accessible. If something is very good, but it is not accessible to us easily, so it doesn't mean, so it should be easily accessible, means we can get it very easy. Then the second thing is what? It should be cheap. Okay, then it should be cheap. And then what should be the third criteria for this? This fuel can be easy to transport. If something is very good, but it is not facilitating its transport to the place where it is required, so it doesn't mean anything. So the third thing, it is easy to transport. Then the fourth, what it should be, its ignition temperature, which is very important. If its ignition temperature is very low, it will start burning by itself. If its ignition temperature is very high, then it will take so much of time to burn. So its ignition temperature should be optimum. It is very important thing for a ideal fuel. Optimum ignition temperature. Then the third thing is very important. Then it should burn completely. Okay, and burning should be easy. Okay, and very important thing, that burning should be at moderate rate. Means if something burns very quickly, means if there is rapid burning, then what we'll say? Very rapid burning means we can't use it energy efficiently. So the burning should be at, you can say, moderate rate. This rate we can modify by the making device more efficiently. Okay, if we are exploring the whole substance to burn it, it will easily burn. So to make it more efficient, there is a technique also come. So, there is a technique which help to make it more efficient by making the devices which help to reduce or moderate the rate of the combustion. And then the very important thing is that your combustible, what is the fuel, after burning, it should not leave the residue in so much. Means the after burning, we are not supposed that it does not leave residue in large quantity. Okay, if something lots of ashes or anything left, means it will create to there is another job how we will just settle it down. So the good fuel or ideal fuel does not leave any residue. These are the some important characteristics of ideal fuel, but no other fuel is ideal. Okay, but no, it is just an ideal condition for any fuel which we call ideal. So ideal, we know it is not the practical word. Any fuel which reach these criteria at its maximum level, then we call it a good fuel. Okay, good fuel. These 6 criteria I have discussed. Then 7th criteria is also very important, which is the fuel should be highly efficient. High efficiency we expect from any fuel. Okay, it is. Let's explore how we'll get or how we'll define that fuel is highly efficient and it is not. So you have got this one. What is the ideal characteristic of ideal fuel? So let's discuss about the efficiency of fuel. One more thing, the whole choice of fuel also depend upon the where we are going to use it. It is very important thing. The field where we are using this fuel is very important. So now let's see how we'll define how we'll decide the efficiency of fuel. For this, there is a term comes in picture which is known as your calorific value. Calorific value. What is this calorific value? If we are burning 1 kg of fuel, the amount of heat energy released by burning of 1 kg of fuel is known as your calorific value, and its unit will be heat energy. It will be in kilojoule, and burning of 1 kg means the unit volume kilojoule per kg. It is your calorific values unit. Okay. Now, if high heat energy release mean high calorific value, it shows that high energy release mean it is a good fuel. Means calorific, there is a symbol C comes, okay, for this calorific value. So calorific value is directly proportional to the efficiency of fuel. Okay. Your LPG, its C or calorific value is 5500 kilojoule per kg. Not it is 5,05,000 it is. Okay. Then about your hydrogen, it is the best fuel known. It is 1,50,000 kilojoule per kg. Okay, it is very important. So we can see that hydrogen is a good fuel, but we can't use it everywhere. Okay. Then one more thing about this. Usually the fuel in solid state are not good, because after burning they leave so much of residue, so we avoid, and it doesn't come under the good category of fuel. Now, and you have also one idea about, let me tell you, fossil fuel. What are these woods? Coal, petroleum, diesel, all are comes under the category of fossil fuel. Let me one thing tell you how the fossil fuel form. When there is all these you can say living ones, after death they buried under the soil so that pressure increase, and under the soil in the you can say high depth, there is a temperature increase. At the same time, oxygen supply block, or you can say lack of oxygen. Then what happened? All that dead bodies or of organism or their excreta or their product or their products, in these conditions they will form the fossil fuel, and this process is very slow process. So we should use all these fossil fuel very judiciously for the sustainable development. Okay. Now, it was the important thing about fossil fuel. These three conditions was very important. Now, let's think about what after the burning of this fuel. Is there any side effect in the environment or not? So, if there is combustion takes place, the burning of fuel. On कर दियो.
हम ऑन करके इधर गए तो याद
रख. So this burning of fuel, there are so many harmful effects also. Harmful effect. Why? Because after burning there the emission of or release of harmful gases which adversely affect our environment. Let's explore it one by one. Suppose you are burning this food, petroleum, okay, petroleum, diesel, etc. There are many unburned carbon particles also left there. Unburned carbon particle. Okay. These unburned carbon particles come into air in form of dust. And when this dust we are going to expose our body exposed with this, it usually causes very dangerous respiratory problems, like you can say this hole will be choked down, and it will cause a long term problem which is known as asthma. Okay, then it was the one. Then let's see the what is the second bad consequence of this. This is fuel if there is incomplete combustion. Sometimes in case of vehicles, we used to see that this fuel due to the incomplete combustion. For example, in case of the vehicle, sometimes this vehicle is not very efficient, then there is incomplete combustion takes place, and which releases lots of poisonous gases. And these poisonous gases are harmful for plants, for animals, human being, everywhere. Then in third case, suppose it's your fuel, it releases your carbon dioxide. It is a very common, carbon dioxide is must. So carbon dioxide release, you know this carbon dioxide is a global warming gas. So it is a main reason of causing that global warming. And due to this, and it also you can say this global warming. What is this global warming? Actually, due to these gases, they trap the heat energy which go back to the after radiation, they go back to and leave the environment. But these carbon dioxide gas, methane, and some nitrogen gas, they trap this heat energy and let it be here on the earth, and slowly it increase the temperature of earth, which is known as the global warming. And due to this global warming, lots of glaciers, melting of glaciers occur there. Even the salt concentration of the oceans also disturbs. So indirectly it affects lot to our environment, and that is the adverse effect. And it was a third one which I was talking about. Then the fourth, it is your fuel, and it also release the oxides of sulfur, oxide of nitrogen. Okay, I'm putting X because it can be SO2, SO3. So this SO2 sulfur oxide is highly suffocative and corrosive gas. And it is very important to say it, suffocative gas. It is suffocative as well as it is highly corrosive gas. Okay, and when these oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur come in contact with water or rainwater, they form acid, which is your H2SO4 and HNO3, and this is the reason of, or this become the reason of acid rain. And this acid rain affect aquatic life, soil, the monuments, the animals, the plants, these the whole chlorophyll. So you can see what are the adverse effects of this fuel. So I am telling this not just to learn it, not just to read it. We should be very much sincere, and we should use the fuel very judiciously for the sustainable development, to let it the whole, and we should be very eco-friendly. We should go for the alternative source of your energy, like your, we can say the solar energy we can use, wind energy we can use. We should focus on this to make them more efficient, so that our dependence on these fuel will reduce, and slowly and gradually will move toward the eco-friendly life. And exploring this sustainable development and this alternate source of energy, we are going toward one more, you can say the gas, which is a good fuel, that is your CNG. Let me tell you, it is a small topic which I am adding at the, you can say, last, which is your CNG. Now we are working on this CNG cars, you have listened CNG vehicles, even. What is this compressed natural gas. This compressed natural gas is going to be very eco-friendly. Why it is, or we call it the cleaner fuel. In this criteria, I'm just telling, because we should focus on being eco-friendly. So cleaner fuel. Why? Because first thing, it left very little residue. Very little residue. And it is not very harmful, so very least harmful, or I should not say least, it is a very less harmful, and it doesn't cause air pollution. And nowadays we are working on this and exploring this CNG to make our environment more, we can say, sustainable. That's all. And I think it will help you to understand about the different type of fuel, that characteristic. Thank you very much.